Bitcoin is dragging its feet and is trying here to slowly grind you down. But even though Bitcoin is going sideways more or less, there are some coins right now that are potentially moving here really soon, and I want you to be ready for that and position yourself. If you think that is something that you want to know more about, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, like the video, and activate the bell so you will never miss out on these important updates. And now let's get into it. So here on the Bitcoin chart on the daily, you see here that the line chart is more or less still following the Wyckoff accumulation pattern. On the daily chart, we were today a little bit higher already, but then got slammed down again. I don't know what was happening. I was looking for a news event. You could not really pinpoint it, you know, so besides maybe a quick stop hunt that was occurring on the chart. But regardless, on the daily time frame, we are still on track here for our move to the upside in Bitcoin. And I can tell you this move is coming really soon. And I show you some proof for this here in a moment. So you should definitely make sure to see this. One reason for that is that we are still under the downward sloping trend line. And this is acting like a coil that you squeeze together when you look at the indicators, because the stochastic RSI is clearly showing you that we are flatlining here in oversold conditions now for a really long time. So this is 5 days. 5 days is a really long time that the stochastic RSI is not giving us a clear buy signal, where we also see then a substantial move in the Bitcoin price back to the upside. And Bitcoin needs to make this move here, because for once, if we are not moving here pretty soon into $69,000, $70,000 into that kind of area, we're gonna lose the current support level and will move lower, because Bitcoin cannot find acceptance in higher prices while we are printing here locally higher lower highs, you know. So we have here a local higher high, lower high, lower high. So and once we are breaking this low here, we start to get in trouble around $66,000 more or less. For the time being, that is not the case, but it can happen quite quickly if we are not finding acceptance at least above $69,000 in the next, let's say 2 days, something like that. One reason for that, that we are potentially going here a little bit sideways right now, can be an option expiry that's expiring tomorrow, the end of the month, as usual. There is $6.5 billion worth of options are expiring, but right now it's favoring the bulls. So as long as we are holding the current price level into tomorrow's options expiry, we should see afterwards a big move to the upside. When in terms of indicators, we see here slowly selling pressure leaving the MACD. The RSI is still around the 50% level, and every time when we're around the 50% level, at some point we are getting a bounce back to the upside, and again that will be then also reflected in the price with a bigger sustained move here. Preferably we would see a retest of the Monday high at $70,700. Break this and then finally move here into the next golden ratio target of $70,400. Remember guys, when we're creating new all-time highs, it's really tough to come up with targets because we have never been in these levels. You can only do that with Fibonacci extension levels. On this 4-hourly chart, between yesterday and today, nothing really has changed besides that we are completely on track here with the trajectory that I have pointed out here. And here you see clearly why I'm saying we need to get into higher prices, because if I draw a line here at $68,200, that is the current resistance level. So once that is broken, Bitcoin should start flying back to the upside when we see here acceptance above that price point. On the 4-hourly chart is forming an asymmetrical triangle, and we are getting close to the apex. So the apex is tomorrow afternoon at 4 p.m. UTC. I believe that Bitcoin is trying to break out earlier. And here, that is the next trade that you can take. So either when we are breaking $68,400 or to the downside, $67,100. Once we are breaking one of these two levels, you can make a trade either to the upside or to the downside. Again, this is a bullish pattern because it's bullish bias because we're coming here out of an uptrend. So it is a bullish continuation pattern. Just a reminder, these patterns have a 70% chance to go in the bias direction and a 30% chance to move in the unbiased direction. So here there is a 70% chance to go either to the upside or a 30% chance to the downside. And sometimes it actually happens that we go to the downside. So now in terms of targets for that, to the upside, we are talking about a technical target of $73,877. So really close to the all-time high. And if we break to the downside, we would get back down to $62,000 more or less. Again, not really believing that we are going back into these lower levels here, even though we have down there a fair value gap that is not closed yet at $63,000 more or less. There's a fair value gap. And normally we overshoot a little bit. There is the technical possibility that we're going back down to this level. So I just want to point that out as a scenario, so I'm not putting too much weight on that. But if we are breaking here down out of that symmetrical triangle, we should start watching it, especially if the line in the sand at 64,000, let's be $65,000. So I will give this a chance to get filled when we are around $65,000, but not really before that. On the liquidation levels here again, we could see a quick move down to 66,400 just to liquidate the people that are trying to long from here. If we are not getting down here, then expect a move to the upside where we straight go and liquidate everybody to the upside, because again, a lot of people are complacent right now and think we are stalling here for a longer period, so they start to sell off the Bitcoin so that we potentially go lower. But this can many times actually bite you, where the market just does the opposite. So especially if the majority is leaning to one side, then normally the opposite occurs in the markets. So, and here right now, everybody is expecting that we'll head a little bit lower. So I'm leaning more to the point that we're going uphill and liquidate all these short positions. Also on the liquidation heat map, on the 24 hours, we see here $68,500 is the level that we need to tap into to trigger short liquidations. Once we are doing that, we will see a short squeeze above $69,000. The same would happen if we see a break of $67,000, then also a big long liquidity will be taken out, and we most likely go straight to like 66,400, something like that. On the 1 hourly chart, we are holding the green box, which is right now the last line of defense from preventing us from moving into lower prices. Here we are forming potentially a triple bottom pattern right now. Once we are breaking these here again, $68,400 is the level to break. From there, the next target would be $70,500 approximately. So the indicators are also starting to paint here a clear picture. The stochastic wants to go to the upside. The RSI is bullish. The MACD starts to be a little bit more bullish. And we only need to reclaim here $68,000 on the 50 moving average, and that will give us enough fuel to basically catapult us into better price levels that we would like to see here. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade anywhere, I trade on BYBIT. There you still get $30,000 if you use the link here down below. And on BLOFIN is right now a new campaign running for a couple of days. Where once you deposit a little bit of money on BLOFIN, you get $300 worth of a deposit bonus. So make sure that you sign up on BLOFIN. It's actually a really good exchange. And if you're in the US or in the UK, use BITGET or Phemex. These are the exchanges that I would highly recommend to you. Now, when we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance, the dominance is moving up here, while Bitcoin is also moving a little bit up. But the real reason why the dominance is moving up is because the Ethereum Bitcoin chart is losing momentum and looks potentially to top out here locally for the moment. which is okay, you know. So we cannot go up in a straight line. So here I expect a little bit more of consolidation before we get our next leg to the upside in the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. And as long as we are holding here the 0.045 level, we should be fine. And yeah, see here higher levels pretty soon. Of course, when we're looking at the Ethereum USDT chart, we also see a reflection of that small correction here with this downwards trending channel. The indicators also are telling me here on the 4-hourly chart that a bigger break is soon brewing here. The golden ratio level, the upper end of it, is giving us here support. And as long as that stays that way, we should see here a reclaim of higher prices in direction of $4,000 over the next couple of days, because the indicators are all screaming, let's go up. The MACD fading selling pressure, RSI going to the upside, stochastic wants also to turn around. So here on the 4-hourly chart, everything is looking really good for a continuation move to the upside. Now Solana is back at our entry level. I'm not really sure right now if I would re-enter here, if I would not have already a Solana position. If you're not in Solana, technically you can risk to trade here. You know, you can get here into this entry level and just have your stop loss where it should be at $160. But I don't like that we basically created here this rounding top. You know, so normally when we get these running tops, you don't see price action doing something like this, you know. So normally you have a couple of waves of that, you know. So this is the first wave. If you look here, you know, so here your first rounding shape, second rounding shape, and they get smaller and smaller, and then you get a pushback to the upside. So here could be another one around $160, and then you finally get the move back to the upside. Because if I draw here another downward sloping trend line, you're gonna see, you know, so here there is also substantial resistance. And only once we are breaking above that, Solana will go and move here closer to the $200 level. Now let's talk about coins that I believe are ready to move here, that you should position yourself in. One of them is NEAR. NEAR has also a lot of news coming out here. We're looking for that on the daily chart. And also here, because NEAR would print a new all-time high if we get above $9 for levels beyond here, $8.10 for profit taking. We need to take the golden ratio. And here I go from the prior all-time high to the local bottom. And here you see already clearly, you know, so price action bounced already off the golden ratio in that green box that I have drawn in here. That was unintentional. It is still a good moment to enter NEAR right now. You could also potentially wait and hope that we come back into $7.20, $7.36 to open a trade. And then the initial target is $8 and what is it? $8.10 would be my initial target. And if we break through that, then the next golden ratio here, $12.19. That is a level that I'm eyeing with for taking profit on my NEAR position and make this potentially a long-term trade where I hold this position over a couple of weeks. So a stop loss would be around $7. There's where I would set my stop loss, lose $7, and we try to find a new entry. The other one is HNT. HNT is a really good project that I like, and it has the uncanny ability to move really quickly to the upside once it's going. Also here, an extended period of downwards movement here on the stochastic RSI where we are flatlining. Continuous selling pressure coming in, but the RSI is telling us that the bears are losing strength here because we are going sideways. So, and once we're moving here above 50%, you're gonna see a big move here in HNT above the downward sloping trend line, which we have since February. So that will be a really nice trade here. If we lose the current level of $4 more or less, then there is a chance that we come all the way down to $3.40. See that as a massive buy opportunity if we come back down here. So you see here last time we hit this to the dollar before we stepped a little bit into it. We might not even get all the way down there. So between $3.70 and $3.40, I would put some stink bits just if we get a quick flush to the downside and then come back up. Because once this downward sloping trend line is broken, trust me, this will run really quickly to $6.50 and potentially a higher than $6.50. The other one is an old friend that we all know, and that is ZRX. ZRX has here in this white zone an imbalance that is now filled, as far as I can tell. Yes, so that one is now filled with the downwards move. So here in that green area, again, perfect buying opportunity for us between 49 cents to 52 cents. We are also bottoming out here on the stochastic RSI. The RSI is printing a bullish divergence, a hidden bullish divergence, where the RSI is going down and the price is technically still here going up. So as long as we are holding this green zone here, and we could potentially get a bounce to the upside, wait for the RSI to give you that bounce by tomorrow, potentially. And also you want to see that the blue line is bouncing off the red line tomorrow. Otherwise, we might see a little bit continuation to the downside. If we lose 48 cents, we will go back to like 44. So almost a 10% move to the downside. And then down here, I would buy also massively and take profit is around 65 cents. And then above that at 76 cents. A stop loss, if you get into this zone and you don't want to add down here, then the initial stop loss would be at 47 cents. I'm gonna let you know when I'm personally entering these positions. You have now all the entries and everything. Just watch again the spreadsheet. You know, I'm gonna put it in the spreadsheet like I always do. And thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.